All right, so today we're going to put one single YouTube video under the microscope. Now, on the surface, it promises a really sophisticated makeup tutorial, but the data, it tells a completely different and frankly, kind of bizarre story. So let's dig in and see what this tells us about the gap between online promises and digital reality.
Okay, so where does this all begin? Well, it all starts with the title of a YouTube video. And let me tell you, this title sets a very specific and very alluring stage. Just listen to this. Beautiful fusion of Douyin and Korean eye makeup. I mean, the words themselves are so evocative, right? They create this immediate, super clear expectation for anyone who's about to click play. You think you know exactly what you're about to see.
So let's break that down. Think about the promise that's being made here. Beautiful. That suggests artistry, yeah? Fusion. That implies this really creative blending of styles. And then it gets specific, naming Douyin and Korean makeup. So you're expecting this very sophisticated tutorial. It's basically a masterclass in setting viewer expectations before you even hit that play button.
But, you know, a title is just the packaging. It's the box. To see what's really inside, we have to look at the data. And in this case, that means the video's official transcript. And yeah, this is where the story takes a very, very weird turn.
So you gotta wonder, right? What does the actual script of the video say? What words are being spoken to guide us through this supposed beautiful fusion of makeup styles? What are we gonna find?
This is what we find. The entire transcript for the video reads, heat, hey, 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 heat, heat. That's it. No, really, that's the whole thing. No tutorial, no explanation, just that. And this is that massive, jarring disconnect we're talking about, the chasm between the sophisticated promise and this completely nonsensical reality.
And right there, that is our mystery. How in the world do we reconcile a title that promises a beautiful cultural fusion with a transcript that offers, well, this? This is the puzzle we need to solve.
Okay, so to figure this out, we're going to have to act like digital detectives. We've only got two pieces of evidence, the title and the transcript. So let's put them side by side and see just how deep this disconnect really goes.
So let's start with the nature of the language itself, right? The title, as we've already seen, is super evocative and highly specific. It creates this whole world of meaning. The transcript, on the other hand, it's just repetitive and completely vague. It communicates, well, almost nothing.
I mean, just look at this comparison. On the left, you've got this rich vocabulary of aesthetics, techniques, different cultures, and on the right, you've got two simple repeated words. The imbalance is just staggering.
And to really, really drive this home, let's look at the actual concepts. The title promises fusion. Now, that's a complex idea, right? It's about blending, creativity, making something new and whole from different parts. It's a word with some serious depth.
And the transcript gives us hey, an exclamation, a simple sound used to get someone's attention. I mean, it's basically a grunt of communication, not a vessel for complex ideas. The comparison it's almost absurd, isn't it?
So after all that digging, all that analysis, the data boils down to this. Just two unique words. The entire beautiful fusion promised in that title is apparently built on a Campico vocabulary that a toddler could master. So what on earth is going on here?
So what's the answer? Well, the truth is, we may never know for sure. We can't definitively solve the mystery, but what we can do is explore the logical possibilities. We can look at the potential ghosts in the machine that could create an anomaly just like this.
So what are the rational explanations for this totally bizarre digital artifact? What could possibly be going on behind the screen to cause this? Well, there are a few compelling theories. Could it be a flawed AI transcription, just trying its best to make sense of music or some background noise? Maybe. Or perhaps it's something more intentional, like a piece of abstract audio art, where the title is meant to be ironic. It could also be a simple content placeholder that a creator just forgot to replace. Or hey, maybe it's a deliberate digital prank. And then, of course, there's the most boring, and maybe the most likely answer, just a simple data processing error somewhere along the line.
But here's the thing, and this is probably the most important takeaway from all of this. Finding the one true answer, it isn't really the point. The real value is in asking the question. The act of investigating this discrepancy, that's what's truly revealing about the world we live in online.
Because this bizarre little piece of data perfectly illustrates the huge gap that can exist between presentation and reality online. You could call it a perfect case study in how a polished, shiny promise on the surface can be hiding a chaotic, nonsensical, or just an empty reality underneath.
And that leaves us with one last big thought. When the data itself fails us like this, when the transcript is just meaningless noise, what story is actually left to tell? What do we do with the promise? And what do we make of the void that's left behind? It's definitely something to think about the next time you go to click play.